We made it. 1 week done. 7 days of 100 days of YouTube, if that makes sense. Anyway, we've done a week. So, what am I going to talk about today? Well, this is something that I have been passionate about for a very long time, and it is about your presentations, your demo deck, your pitch deck, whatever you want to call it. And I remember working for large American organizations, large Spanish organizations, large British, any organization. And the first 7 to 10 slides were just valueless. They would talk about your business, when you were started, where you had headquarters, some of the logos. They just were not about the customer. They were not customer centric in any way, shape, or form. And then a guy by the name of Antti Iannarino, he started talking about, delete the first 8 slides of your PowerPoint deck. And I went through and looked at the company I was working for at the time, their PowerPoint deck, and he was absolutely right. The first 8 slides, all about us, added no value. And then about 5 years ago, a guy called Chris Orlob, who was at Gong and is now running P Club, which is fantastic. You should check it out if you haven't. He did a blog article or did a post about, I think it was him anyway, about the perfect slide deck for your discovery call or your pitch deck. And I've been using a variation of this for a very long time. I've taken it to the businesses that I've worked in. I use it in the business that I run at the moment. And it is about the customer. It is about delivering value quickly in your conversation. So you start with the problems that your customer is facing and the fact that you are seeing them in the market as well. The fact that in my world, like close rates are down, deal cycles are longer, average order values have shrunk, and more customers are ghosting sellers in the final stages. So you talk about the problems you're seeing in the market. You talk about the knock-on effects they're having, right? So it's the classic, which means that. So you're having sellers ghost you at the end of your sales cycle, which means that your forecasts aren't accurate, you're off your revenue number, you're having to work twice as hard to get the same results, you're missing your target. Then you talk about how you've developed a solution to address that. That could be a product or a service, it could be a SaaS tool, or it could be a training. In my case, I talk about how I work with organizations to help improve their sellers' ability in the discovery phase, which, if you get right, significantly speeds up your deal cycle, significantly increases your average order value, and will, most of the times if you do the discovery right, you will just get rid of that ghosting at the end because you have laid a foundation. So you talk about the solution. Then you talk about, companies it's helped. Then you talk about yourself. So companies that you've helped, slide 4 to 5, that's really important. It gives that social proof. You showed where it worked. It's like, this is a company like you. We've done it here before. So for me, IT, tech consultancies, software companies, professional services in the AWS space of the size of 20 to 200 employee space, right? So a handful of organizations, examples are I've helped those, and then talk about yourselves. You talk about your business, your products, and you can almost, if you're a SaaS business, you can lead into the demo then. But the order of this is really important. So you need to take your customer on that journey. You need to be upfront, demonstrating that you understand their pain, you understand the challenges that they have. You need to be sort of signposting the kind of the knock-on effects or the impact of that, how that makes them look both from a performance perspective, but like use emotional words. How does it make them feel? So you're frustrated because you miss your number. Your team are disappointed because they're not earning commission. Use emotional words to help kind of drive that conversation along. Then you talk about how you help address it. Then you talk about what you've done it before. Then you talk about yourself. So super short video today, but seriously, the best slide decks are the shortest ones. Absolutely the best. Just a little anecdote. When I was working at O2, they had a rule about presenting to the board. So if you take anything to the board, you weren't allowed more than 5 slides. And that didn't mean you could just like make the font really small, pack everything in. No, you had to communicate that idea in 5 slides. That didn't include title slide, just 5 body slides. But if you couldn't do it in 5 slides, it wasn't ready to come to the board. You weren't clear enough about the message you were trying to give. You weren't succinct enough. So really think about it. Having a 20, 30 slide deck doesn't mean you're ready for a meeting. Taking a 20 or 30 slide deck, squeezing it, narrowing it, really drilling it down to 5 slides that really focus and start with value, that means you're ready for a meeting. Happy Sunday, everybody. I will see you tomorrow, Monday, on day 8, 1 week down. How many weeks are there in 100 days? Can I do the maths quickly enough? 10, 12 gets me to 84, 98, that's 14 weeks. So 1 down, 13 to go.